Thank you very much for staying with us. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am joined by a former Senior Special Assistant on Diaspora Affairs to Ekiti State Governor, Femi Odere, for discussion on the zoning formula for 10th National Assembly leadership of the All Progressives Congress. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Yeah, it's good to see your face again.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so this race that is, gradually transitioning into a battle. Let me have your overall perspective about it.
Well, thanks, Jumoke. My overall perspective of the whole thing is actually a multiplicity of events, as you can begin to see. As far as the Senate is concerned, there are two basic tendencies. And we have the stability group tendency, which basically has publicly declared their support for Senator Akpabio to become the next Senate president in the next National Assembly. And then you have what I can call the instability group tendency, which is headed by Abdulaziz Yari, who's also gunning for the same Senate president position, and also Orji Uzor Kalu. And basically, this instability group tendency is actually the person that seems to be pulling the strings from beneath the surface, if you will, is the current Senate president, who basically had vowed publicly that Akpabio would not become the next Senate president, and if he's going to be the next Senate president, it's going to be over his dead body. As far as I can tell, there's really no contest there anymore, because a vast majority of the Senate, of the senators-elect, I think at the last count, was about maybe 69, there were about 69, and you only need a simple majority when the voting begins to actually elect both the Senate president and the deputy Senate president. So, as far as I'm concerned, Akpabio is going to be the next Senate president, whether Abdulaziz likes it or not, whether Kalu likes it or not, or whether even the current Senate president likes it or not. More so that the party has taken a position. And the party has said, this is the person that we want to head the next Senate president. So that's very significant. Now, going into the House of Representatives, remember last time you said, by nature, the House of Representatives is very rancorous. And I said then that, yes, maybe this time around, the rancor may be tamed because of the fact that the stakes are high. But it doesn't seem as if the rancor is being tamed right now. But even at that, the speaker that the party has chosen, what's his name, Tajuddin Abbas, and Kalu from the Southeast, they are also going to become the presiding officers at the end of the day, because quite frankly, what is going on now is really not unusual. But then, because you have individual ambitions, you have ambitions in the name of the group and all of that. But what I would say to these people is that they should actually ask themselves and go deeper within and ask themselves that what is good for the polity and what does the president-elect wants? Because it is at the end of the day, the president-elect, the buck stops at the stable. And if in the unlikely event that the president-elect does not perform to the expectation of Nigerians, it's not going to say, it is because they didn't allow me to choose my leader. The Nigerians will say, but did we vote for the senators and the House of Representatives? We voted for you, for God's sake. So they should actually give the president-elect the latitude, if you will, and the freedom, if you will, to actually choose his own team. And this team actually, aside from the executive that he has the license to choose, he should have the freedom, if you will, to also choose the members of both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Those are the ones that are going to work with him. And because of the fact that this president-elect is unlike any other president, because he's coming with an acute understanding of what he wants to do and how he wants to do it, and the people that he believes that are going to help him in achieving these goals and objectives. And so that is actually very fundamental. And at the end of the day, I'm very sure that all these rancors, the youthful exuberances and all of that will be tamed, and then they are going to key in into the party's position at the end of the day.
All right, so because one thorny issue regarding this race is zoning of the principal positions by the APC, why is this generating so much heat?
Well, don't let us forget the fact that there are more political parties now joining the National Assembly. And, you know, they are not necessarily going to key in to the ruling party. And that's one. So that is one reason why we're having more rancors now, especially in the House of Representatives. So it is normal. But at the end of the day, the majority is going to have its way, and the minority is just going to have its say. And they are going to be joking, and they are going to be saying, no, we no go agree and all of that. But at the end of the day, the party stance must prevail.
All right, so I asked the question because, if I'm correct, there are 20 leadership positions in both chambers. Yes, I understand the concept of power, but what is it about these 4 leadership positions that is causing so much havoc? And it begins to make one wonders, is this really about the people?
Well, actually, it is about the people, and let me actually take that before I get into what it is about those people. But the presiding officer, there are 4. You got 2 in the Senate and 2 in the House of Representatives. They are what you can call having the yam and the knife. So they basically determine the direction of both chambers. They basically determine what bills gets to see the light of the day and what bill does not get to see the light of the day. They basically determine at the end of the day who gets to be in the chairmanship positions of committees and all of that. So it is they are like end all and be all, so to speak. So that is why the agitation, for lack of a better word, seems to be very high, because whoever gets to be in this position actually determine the quality and otherwise of legislation and the entire atmosphere of the National Assembly.
All right, so let's look at the way and manner some of these aspirants are reacting and vowing not to toe party line. How will you describe it? And are there any future implications for the APC? Well,
there is the immediate and the future implication. And how I want to address that is that there is some kind of paradigm shift emerging now with this new arrangement. And what that means, it seems to me, is that the party wants to assert itself. And it should assert itself. Why? Because it is through the parties that the individual got to be where they are in the first place. Okay. And you cannot get on the coattail of the party, you cannot get on the pedestal of the party, and at the same time begin to draw down and to begin to abuse the party at the same time. It has happened before, and to me, it is a culture that has not really been addressed. And I believe that this time around, it is going to be addressed, because when people tends to denigrate the party, when people tends to say that the party is going to implode if they don't have their way and all of that, has got to be consequence. Everything in life has got to be to have consequence. And I believe that at some point, the party is going to have to take a decision as to how it deals with these recalcitrant individuals.
So talking about the party taking a decision, how do you think the APC, or what do you think the APC needs to do right now to douse the tension?
Well, the APC, the party leadership basically is saying that it is continuing its consultation with its members. The consultation should continue, no doubt. But the party, seems to me, should actually put its feet down because a decision has already been made. And that is not to say that the party is infallible to mistakes, but when mistakes are made, they will address it at some point down the line. But it doesn't augur well for the party. It doesn't augur well for the new administration coming. It doesn't augur well for the entire polity to start vacillating, as they seems to be doing now, that, okay, maybe we're going to go back to the drawing board and all of that. No, they shouldn't go back to the drawing board, especially since the position has been taken about those 4 presiding officers. So whatever mistakes has been made, which I don't even think there was any mistake in the first place anyway, because, as I said, the president-elect and the party must have the right of first refusal as to who they want to preside on both assemblies, and they've already taken a position. So any other positions now can be negotiated, and quite frankly, some of these people that are actually saying that and we no go agree and all of that, actually mind, for the most part, doing that in order for them to negotiate for something different.
But some of the lawmakers are saying the APC leadership cannot interfere in the affairs of the National Assembly.
Well, they can say that, but that is just theoretical. Because in a representative democracy, even in the United States democracy that we are copying, there's nowhere in the world in the democracy where a ruling party cannot and should not have or take a position as to who become the presiding or the principal officers. No, it's not done. It is just that they've been getting away. I'm talking about the members of the National Assembly now. They've been getting away with so much over time. And remember what happened in the 8th National Assembly when Saraki came with his coup and all of that, and he got away with that, for the next 4 years. And people now can begin to say, okay, now, if Saraki could get away with this, why not? Why can't we try?
But the APC is also trying to avoid that kind of scenario.
Oh, well, yes, it should, because it wouldn't augur well, and it's going to tell badly on the part of the party if it doesn't put its foot down, that this is what we want, this is where we stand, and these are the people that we want to work with the incoming president of the country and all of that. So at the end of the day, the party is going to get its way, in my own view. And at the end of the day, the president-elect is going to have his way either, But yes, they have to manage it, and they will manage it. And like I said, at some point, things are going to become stabilized.
All right, Mr. Odere. Now, if I get you clearly, you're advising the party not to go back on its positions. No. But then another angle is some lawmakers are saying we do not have an issue with the zoning positions, but do not give us individuals. Open it up.
Well, they can say that too. See, but when you don't, when the party and the members of the president-elect, when they don't do that, in my own view, they are opening an unnecessary floodgate.
But isn't that a fair bargain?
which is...
When you say open it up, give us zoning, do not give us individuals.
Because there's really no way, in my own understanding, why the party should not give an individual. Because when you leave it open like that, it may very well be that somebody that the party doesn't want may end up getting the trophy, so to speak. So I don't see anything wrong with the way the party actually proclaims that an individual, so that in that way it is a sort of a stabilization mechanism, if you will, for the party to have done that, because it puts everybody now knows that, okay, this is the position of the party, and at the end, and after some time, they will have to begin to make bargaining and all of that. And to me, that's what is going to happen the next couple of weeks from now.
So, does mentioning names not amount to imposition?
That's one way to look at it, actually. But either way you dice it, you're probably going to, depending on which side of the fence you are sitting at, you're probably going to say, it's imposition. But still, I still don't see it as an imposition. Because when you really look at it, one, the parties zone the Senate president now to between the South-South and the Southeast. But then everybody knows that the Southeast doesn't have a chance because, one, the people jockeying for the Senate president from the Southeast are not representing the interest of the party.
How do you mean?
How do I mean? Because right from when the campaign started, the only person who seems to be a frontliner in the running for the Senate president is Orji Uzor-Kalu. And remember, Orji Uzor-Kalu said even before Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu won the ticket, he was of the view that the ticket cannot and should not come to the South. He was of the view that the North should actually continue the trajectory of producing the president. And he actually proclaimed that he would be more than glad to even be the shoe shiner of Ahmed Lawal. You know, Ahmed Lawal wanted to be, who was the one that they wanted to bring in through the back door to actually hijack the ticket until they fall flat on their faces. But then, we all know, even after that, when Asiwaju actually won the ticket, throughout the entire presidential rally, Orji Uzor-Kalu only attended 3 of those rallies. And even throughout the time that Asiwaju went to the Southeast to campaign, Orji Uzor-Kalu never showed up. So you have to begin to ask yourself, whose interest is this man serving? Is he serving his own personal interest? Is he serving another political party's interest? Or is he serving the ruling party's interest, where he belongs? And the answer is quite obvious. He wasn't serving the interest of the APC. He wasn't serving the interest of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of the way he dilly-dallied, the way he dodged and all of that. He didn't want to be seen with that party. So what makes you now think that the Senate president of the ruling party should fall on your lap? It doesn't work that way. So that's why I said his own is not even a contention to begin with, because he's never going to get it.
All right, thank you. Let's talk about the North Central.
Sure.
The zone has expressed displeasure over the zoning arrangements as the zone was not considered in the equation. How do you think the party should address this?
Well, I would say that in the enlightened best interest of the party, they decided to gift the Speaker of the House of Rep to the Northwest geopolitical zone. Yeah, one can argue that the Deputy Senate President is already from the Northwest. So why are you now giving the speakership of the House of Representatives to another Northwesterner, so to speak. But the thing we really need to start understanding, as I said earlier, is that there seems to be a paradigm shift now, whereby whoever produces the most should be rewarded. I think that may have been one of the considerations of the party. And not only that, let's forget the fact that very recently, that was during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, and for the most part, I think Obasanjo as well. David Mark was the Senate president for 8 good years. And David Mark is from the North Central. And Sharaki, during the 4th term of President Muhammadu Buhari, also was the Senate president. And he's also from the North Central. So under normal circumstances, the North Central, it seems to me, cannot say that they are being taken out of the equation.
But this is another dispensation.
Well, it is another dispensation, but the fact of the matter too is that you have to look at what came out of the North Central in terms of the number of votes that were donated, if you will, for the president-elect, in comparison to the number of votes that were donated for the president-elect from the Northwest. So I think, and I believe that the party may very well be sending a signal with the way they have zoned the thing. But look, if you work very hard, you are most likely going to be rewarded. But if you don't expect to be rewarded for nothing.
I get your point, and I wish we had more time to talk about that. Now, opposition parties have said they have no candidate for speaker, deputy positions. Do you think this will change the calculations in the race?
Well, to me, it's either here nor there. They shouldn't have any candidate anyway, because collectively, they are the minority. They are still going to be considered the minority.
Are you saying it do not matter?
Well, even if they do, I don't see it flying at the end of the day anyway, because we're talking about it is by convention and by right, the ruling party must produce its own presiding and principal officers. So saying that really doesn't really mean anything as far as I'm concerned. All
right, so quickly before we go, let me chip this in. Do you see a situation where the lawmakers will go against the decision of the party?
I don't see that happening.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Odere. I've been speaking with former senior special assistant on diaspora affairs to Ekiti State Governor Femi Odere. And tonight we're focused on the zoning formula for 10th National Assembly leadership by the All Progressives Congress, APC. Thank you very much, sir, for honoring the invitation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.